Hello, I'm Brian Wilford, Member of Parliament for Richmond Hill, and this is MP Report, coming to you from Ottawa. I'd like to give you a little highlights on what's been happening over the last week. As the Vice Chair of the National Defence Committee, we are summing up our report on Arctic sovereignty. With the Northwest Passage likely to be open all summer long in about 7 to 10 years, we're dealing with issues of foreign presence in the Arctic. What do we do in terms of dealing with ships that want to go through what we obviously believe in very clearly is Canadian waters? And also dealing with the issues of climate change, the impact that climate change is having on the habitat in the north, on the people of the north. These are very important issues, and we're going to be making very specific recommendations to the government on how to deal with an Arctic policy. On the issue of the Afghan detainee issue, and as Vice Chair of the Special Afghan Committee, again, the troops are doing a fantastic job in Afghanistan. I have been there now on 2 occasions, and I can tell you that they're all making a real difference. The issue on the Afghan detainee issue is simply whether or not the government has covered up any issues dealing with torture. Because of the international conventions dealing with war, particularly the Geneva Convention, we have to ensure that when we transfer troops that they are not, in fact, being tortured. Other issues we're dealing with is obviously the budget. I spoke on the budget debate last week, and again pointing out the fact that this government has no real exit strategy when dealing with a $56 billion deficit. As a former Parliament Secretary to the Minister of Finance, I'm very worried about the future for Canadians in terms of deficits and what that will mean for future generations. I'm also concerned about the jobs for tomorrow. We don't see this government talking about innovation. We don't see it talking about how do we employ young people today, ensuring that they will have the ability to use their skills for the jobs of tomorrow. This is obviously of great concern. In Parliament Hill, obviously, there's a lot of talk about the Helena Jurgis, Graham Jaffer affair. Again, we don't need to get into the specifics of that. What we need to be looking at, though, is the issue of the credibility of the Prime Minister. When Mr. Jaffer was arrested with cocaine 7 months ago, did he in fact phone his minister? Did he say, what is going on here? The fact about the credibility, it's about the accountability of government. And that strikes to the very heart of what this Prime Minister supposedly has stood for. We obviously are concerned about ethics in government, and obviously I, for one, want to make sure that those answers are forthcoming. Sending it to the RCMP is one thing, but again, the general approach of why she was thrown out of cabinet, and in fact out of the Conservative Party, is obviously very, very troubling. As Member of Parliament, I am continuing to meet with school groups that come to Parliament Hill. I'll be meeting with a number in the next couple of weeks. We are continuing to send out our response newsletters, which again get very good feedback in terms of some of the issues of the day that are out there, and obviously supporting also local organizations. We also are taking a look at issues with regard to the future of Canada's role internationally. That is one of the issues that I'll be dealing with. Once our troops come home in 2011, how are we going to deal with future missions abroad? This will already be the longest mission in Canadian military history, and as General Leslie had said very, very clearly, we need to regroup when those forces come home. So again, I'm pleased to be responding to many of your concerns, both in the constituency and on Parliament Hill. I look forward to speaking to you again in the future through this great medium of video, and I think it is, again, another tool that I'm trying to use along with Twitter, along with YouTube, along with Facebook to get the message out, and of course through our response newsletters. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day.